Let me tell you something straight. Laziness is not just some small habit, it's a lifestyle killer. It's the silent assassin of dreams. It creeps in on you, tells you, we got time. And before you know it, you're 20 pounds heavier, 2 years behind, and nowhere near where you said you would be. And it starts with one small decision. I'll do it tomorrow. So keep saying tomorrow like you got a lifetime supply of them. But let me ask you, what if tomorrow doesn't show up? You keep hitting snooze like success is gonna wait on you. It's not. Life doesn't delay itself for your comfort. There's no greatness in your comfort zone. You can't grow and stay cozy at the same time. You want success, but you don't want sweat. You want results, but you don't want the grind. That ain't how it works. You don't get to wake up successful. You get to wake up early, tired, maybe even frustrated, and still show up. See, lazy folks always got the best excuses. I'm waiting on motivation. I'm just not feeling it today. I'm tired. Let me tell you something. You think the people at the top felt like grinding every single day? No, but they did it anyway. You've got to stop letting your feelings dictate your future. Because if your feelings are running your life, you'll never run anything else. Laziness is the voice that talks you out of your blessings. It's the thing whispering in your ear that average is okay, that you don't need to try so hard, that it's fine to coast. You've got to learn how to shut that voice up. You've got to learn how to fight back. Because every time you choose effort over excuses, you kill a little bit of that laziness. Every time you choose movement over stillness, action over delay, you take back your power. Nobody's going to come save you from your own habits. Nobody's coming to push you out of bed. You've got to do that. You've got to do that. You've got to wake up and decide, I'm done wasting my own potential. That's the day everything changes. Not when life gets easier, not when things slow down. But when you finally get sick of being sick and tired, when you look in the mirror and say, I'm better than this. Your future is watching you, your purpose is watching you, and they're both wondering how long you're gonna make them wait. Get up, move, start, even if it's messy, even if it's small, because momentum builds discipline, destroys laziness. You don't need more motivation, you need commitment. You need a reason that's bigger than your comfort. So don't wait for a perfect day. Don't wait for energy to strike. Don't wait until it feels good. Kill your laziness before it kills your dreams. Because once it's gone, you'll be amazed at what's been waiting on the other side. You, unstoppable, focused, driven. That version of you is real, and it's time to meet them. Let me tell you something real right now, and I mean real. Laziness. It don't show up like a burglar breaking your window. It don't come crashing through the door yelling, I'm here to steal your life. Oh no, laziness is slick. Laziness is smooth. It's that little whisper in the back of your mind telling you, it's okay to chill. You've been working hard, but take it easy, you got time, that's how it starts. Just a little rest, a little more sleep, a little more scrolling, and before you know it, your dreams are dusty, your plans are paused, and your time's run out. See, people think laziness means doing nothing. That's not it. Laziness means doing everything except what moves you forward. You'll clean the whole house before you work on your goals. You'll check every app on your phone, make another cup of coffee, call your cousin, take a nap, scroll again, and at the end of the day, you didn't move an inch toward your purpose. That's laziness. It wears disguises. It tells you it's a self-care when really it's self-sabotaging a Silk Road. Now don't get me wrong, we all get tired. We all need rest. But there's a difference between resting and quitting. There's a difference between recovery and retreat. Some of you all ain't tired, you're just comfortable. You're not exhausted, you're uninspired. You're not burnt out, you're distracted. And laziness feeds off distraction. It thrives on you watching everybody else live their life while you put yours on pause. And here's the danger. Laziness don't just steal your time, it steals your confidence. Because deep down, you know you could be doing more. You know there's something greater inside you. And every day you ignore it, every day you put it off, that guilt starts creeping in. That shame gets heavier. And then you stop believing in yourself. That's how laziness wins. It don't just rob you. It convinces you that you never had it in you to begin with. That's the real heartbreak right there. The dreams you had, 18, 25, 35, those dreams that used to light your fire, laziness is the water that put them out. Slowly, quietly, No big explosion, just little leaks in your ambition. And if you don't patch that up, if you don't stop fighting back, one day you'll wake up full of regret, wondering where all the time went. See, laziness wants you to believe that life's got a pause button. It don't. Time don't stop. Life don't slow down. An opportunity, it don't knock forever. It don't knock forever. You mess around too long, that door closes, not because the dream wasn't real, not because the talent wasn't there, but because you didn't show up for it. I know it's tough. I know it's easier to wait for the right time, the perfect moment, that spark of motivation. Well, let me tell you something. Motivation is flaky. It comes and goes like the wind. You can't build nothing solid on that. What you need is discipline. What you need is vision. You need to be able to see what your life could be like if you just got up every day and fought for it, even when you didn't feel like it. You want to change your life? Then kill the lie that says laziness is harmless. It's not. It's the enemy in your camp. It's the thief inside your house. And it's not just taking your time. It's taking your identity. You were made for more. You were built with purpose. But that purpose don't activate unless you do. It stays locked up behind every lazy choice you make, every snooze button you hit, every task you avoid, every excuse you let slide. And don't sit here thinking, hey, it's too late. It ain't too late. Not as long as you got breath in your lungs and time on the clock. You can get back in the game. You can get focused, but you got to be real with yourself. You got to stand up and say, I've been sleeping on myself, and it ends today. That's the kind of fire you need. That's the kind of truth that makes change happen. Because the moment you recognize that laziness ain't some innocent little habit, but a full-on thief stealing your legacy, that's the moment you start fighting back. And once you start swinging, once you start showing up, once you start doing what you said you were going to do, that's when your life shifts. That's when laziness loses. That's when you take your power back. So yeah, it's quiet, it's sneaky, but don't let laziness trick you. Call it out, shut it down. Get up, move forward, and take what's already yours. Because greatness don't belong to the lazy, it belongs to the relentless. And the second you choose to be relentless, laziness don't stand a chance. Let me break this down for you plain and straight. Our tomorrow is one of the biggest lies you've ever been sold. And the wild part is you bought it. You bought it every time you said, I'll do it later. Every time you said, I'll start next week. Every time you told yourself, I've still got time. Listen to me, you ain't got time like you think you do. You keep saying your tomorrow like it's promised, like you've got a contract with God that guarantees you another sunrise. But you don't. Nobody does. And that's what makes that little word so dangerous. See, tomorrow is comfortable. Because if you keep waiting on tomorrow, one day you'll look back and realize you missed it. You missed the moment. You missed the blessing. And the only thing you'll be left with is a pile of almost and a what-ifs. So kill the tomorrow, live in the now. Push yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Let me talk to you real for a minute. If you're one of those folks out here living with that snooze button lifestyle, thinking success gonna just roll over and greet you like breakfast in bed, you're lying to yourself. Let me tell you this, and I want it to hit you in your chest. Success don't wait on snooze hitters. That clock is ticking whether you're up grinding or still laid up dreaming. And the truth is, every time you hit that snooze button, you're not just delaying your morning, you're delaying your future. People out here acting like sleep is gonna solve their problems. No, solves your problems is getting up when you don't feel like it and handling your business anyway. It's about showing up when it's cold, when it's dark, when it's hard, because that's what winners do. You think success got time to play games with folks who can't even win the battle between their bed and their purpose? No, sir, no, ma'am. Life don't reward lazy habits. Life rewards discipline. Let me break it down. Every morning you got two choices. Get up and go after it, or lay there and let it pass you by. Simple as that. And the crazy part is that alarm clock don't care about your excuses. That job you said you want, that business you said you're gonna start, that body you said you were gonna build, none of it cares about how late you stayed up, how tired you feel, or what mood you're in. You either get up and move, or you get left behind. Some of you are praying for a breakthrough while you're sleeping through your blessings. You can't sleep through harvest season and expect to eat. You can't hit snooze on your life and then wonder why nothing's working out. Listen, your grind has to be louder than your excuses. Your drive has to be stronger than your comfort. And until you understand that, success will always be a stranger to you. You think the people who made it to the top were waking up late. You think they were skipping alarms, laying around saying, "I'll do it later." No, they were up before the sun, chasing what they said they wanted, sacrificing sleep, sacrificing ease, sacrificing comfort. Because when you're hungry, really hungry, you don't lay in bed. You get up and eat what's yours. That snooze button. It's not just about rest. It's about resistance. It's about you telling your purpose, "Hold up, I'm not ready yet." But let me tell you, your blessing might not be there when you are. Life moves, time moves, and opportunity don't hang around waiting for sleepy people to catch up. You miss the moment, it might not circle back. It's funny how people want the reward, but not the routine. Everybody wants success till it's time to wake up early, put in the reps, get uncomfortable. Everybody wants the stage, but not the struggle. But see, that's where the winners separate from the wishers. Winners get up, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because they know what's on the other side of that discomfort is everything they've been praying for. You don't become great by doing what's easy. You become great by doing what's necessary. You gotta push past tired, push past lazy, push past that little voice telling you 5 more minutes, because those 5 minutes are costing you 5 years. And that's real. You hit snooze today, you might miss the moment that changes your whole life. Now I ain't saying never rest. I'm saying stop hiding behind rest. Stop confusing laziness for self-care. Stop lying to yourself like you can put off discipline and still get the dream. You can't. You either run your morning or your morning runs you. And too many people losing the whole day before they even brush their teeth. Your alarm clock is your first test of the day. It's the first battle you fight. And when you win that battle, you walk into your day with power, with control, with momentum. You start stacking wins before the rest of the world even wakes up. And that, my friend, is how you separate yourself. So the next time that alarm goes, no, don't just hear the sound. Hear the message. It's saying, get up, champ. Get up and go get what's yours. Get up and become who you said you'd be. Get up and show this world you're serious, because if you don't, somebody else will. And they'll take the spot that had your name on it. Success don't come to snooze hitters. It comes to the ones who rise with intention, who move with purpose, who treat every morning like it matters. Because it does. Every day is a new chance to rewrite your story. But the pen don't move unless you do. So rise up, wake up, stay up, and don't you dare sleep on your own life. Let me tell you something that most folks don't want to hear. Comfort is a trap. Yeah, it feels good. It feels safe. It feels familiar. But let me ask you this. So when's the last time something great happened to you while you were sitting in comfort? When's the last time growth knocked on your door while you were laid up on the couch, chilling, waiting for life to hand you something? See, comfort zones? That's where greatness goes to die. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, but I've been through a lot. I deserve to rest. Listen, I get it. Life is hard. You want to catch your breath. But don't confuse recovery with resignation. Don't let comfort become your excuse to stop chasing. That cozy spot you're sitting in, that routine you know so well, that same schedule with no pressure, no challenge, no stretch, that's not peace, that's stagnation. That's you putting your purpose on pause because pushing feels like pain, but growth don't happen without pressure. Diamonds don't form in a bubble bath. They come from heat, from struggle, from time spent under pressure. You want to shine, but you don't want to go through the fire. It don't work like that. You've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to do things that scare you, that stretch you, that make you question whether you've got what it takes. Because that's where your breakthrough is hiding, in the part of life that makes your palms sweat and your heart race. See, your comfort zone is a liar. It tells you, this is good enough. Don't rock the boat, just stay here. It feeds you soft thoughts like you've got time. It's too risky. What if you fail? But let me flip that on you. What if you never try? What if you let fear dress up as comfort and rob you of everything you could have been? Let me break it to you straight. Nothing about being comfortable prepares you for the life you say you want. You can't be comfortable and chase your dream at the same time. One of them has to give. And if comfort wins, then purpose loses. You can't keep playing safe and expect extraordinary results. Life don't work that way. When I was coming up, I didn't have the luxury of comfort. I had to hustle. I had to struggle. I had to stretch myself when nothing made sense. And looking back, I thank God for those moments, because that's what built me. That's what made me. That's where I found out who I was. Not when things were easy, but when I was broke, scared, and still moving forward. That's what gave me the grit. And that grit, that's what comfort can't give you. Some of you all are stuck because you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to try something new. You don't want to risk embarrassment or failure or rejection. But guess what? All that comes with the territory. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you're not willing to grow. You're not willing to grow. And if you're not willing to grow, you're not going to go anywhere. You can't microwave success. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes a whole lot of discomfort. But the ones who win in this life are the ones who get used to being uncomfortable. They learn to live in the stretch. They learn to breathe through the fear. They learn to move even when their knees are shaking. That's the real grind. That's the real growth. You can't keep building a soft life when you were born to do hard things. You weren't made for mediocre. You weren't made to settle. You were made to rise, to lead, to overcome. But none of that happens inside your comfort zone. You want new levels? You got to face new devils? You want elevation? Then prepare for agitation. That's the price. That's the path. So the next time life starts getting tough, don't run back to comfort. Don't go hide under that warm blanket of excuses. Step forward, push harder. Embrace the hard, because every time you do, you get stronger, you grow, you become more. You discover pieces of yourself that only show up when you're tested. Let the struggle shape you. Let the discomfort teach you. Let the pressure mold you. That's where your future is being built, not in the easy days, but in the hard ones. The ones that make you question everything and keep moving anyway. So yeah, comfort feels good, but purpose feels better, legacy feels better. Success feels better, and you don't get there by sitting still. You get there by moving, by stretching, by sacrificing, by waking up every day and saying, I may not like this part, but I know it's building something bigger than me. Because once you start living outside your comfort zone, you'll never want to go back. You'll realize real life starts. That's where you find you. That's where the good stuff lives. And if you want to get everything God put in you, you go or be willing to get a little uncomfortable. Now get up and go get it. Let me tell you something that'll wake you up if you're really listening. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop sitting around thinking motivation is gonna come knock on your door one morning, dressed in a nice suit, carrying your goals in a pretty little box. It ain't happening. You keep waiting for this magical moment, this spark of inspiration, that jolt of energy like you're in a movie. But real life don't work like that. Real life don't wait for your feelings to line up before it moves. And success sure as hell don't care how you feel. You know what the problem is with most people? They believe the lie that you gotta be in the mood to make moves. You think champions feel like waking up at 5 a.m. every day. You think people out here building empires feel like showing up when they're tired, stressed, hurting. No! But they show up anyway. You think I felt like grinding when I was sleeping in a car. You think I felt like being funny when I was broken, and barely making it? No, sir, but I got up and did it anyway. Why? Because feelings don't build futures, actions do. You can't trust your feelings. They change like the weather. You feel hyped on Monday, and by Tuesday you're dragging. Wednesday comes and you're making excuses. By Friday, you're talking about starting again next week. Come on now. When does it stop? When do you finally say, I'm gonna do it, whether I feel like it or not? That's the real game changer. When you make discipline stronger than desire, when you put commitment over comfort, that's when the tide turns. Let me tell you, feelings are followers. They follow your motion, not the other way around. You sit still, you start feeling lazy. But when you get up, when you start moving, when you take that first step, suddenly you feel different. Suddenly, motivation starts chasing you. Because you created the momentum, action brings clarity. Motion brings energy. That's how this thing works. See, the enemy of your progress is not your ability. Your attitude is your habit of waiting for a feeling to give you permission to move. Some of you are sitting on million-dollar ideas, million-dollar talent, but you won't act on it because you don't feel ready. Listen, you don't get ready by waiting. You get ready by doing. You don't wait to be confident. You become confident by showing up over and over and over again. Even when you're scared, even when it's messy, even when it feels like you're failing. That's where growth is made. In the doing, not the dreaming. You gotta stop romanticizing the grind. It ain't always pretty, it ain't always inspirational. Some days it's boring, some days it's painful. Some days it's straight up miserable. But you do it anyway, because what's on the other side is worth it. Success is on the other side of why I don't feel like it. Greatness is waiting past the wall of excuses. And if you keep quitting every time your feelings get in the way, you're never gonna see what's possible for your life. I hear people say all the time, I just can't stay motivated. Good, that means you're normal. That means you're human. But guess what? You don't need to stay motivated. You need to stay disciplined. Motivation is the spark, discipline is the engine. Discipline gets you to the gym. Discipline opens that laptop. Discipline writes that script. Discipline shows up. Day in, day out, rain or shine, and that's what separates winners from wishers. You have to rewire your mind to stop needing permission from your emotions. Because if your emotions are driving the car, you're gonna crash. You'll stop at every setback, swerve at every distraction, and park yourself in the same old spot every time things get uncomfortable. But when you make a decision, a real one, to act no matter what, you take control back. You don't let moves steal your moves. You don't let feelings control your future. So the next time you wake up and don't feel like it, do it anyway. Get up anyway. Work anyway. Push anyway. Go. Because those are the days that count. Anybody can move when they're motivated. But the ones who win, they move even when they're not. They grind when it's hard. They build when it's boring. They fight when it's not fun. And that right there, that's the secret sauce. You don't wait to feel like it. You decide to do it. You choose to grow. You commit to move. That's how legacies are built. That's how empires rise. And that's how you get from dreaming to doing. So stop sitting around waiting on a feeling and start acting like you like your life, because it does. Let me tell you something you really need to hear. Excuses are luxury lies lazy people tell themselves. That's right. You ever notice how folks who don't want to do the work are always the best storytellers? They got a reason for everything. I'm too tired. I'm too tired. I'm not ready yet. It wasn't the right day. Let me tell you something. None of that pays bills. None of that gets results. None of that builds a future. It just makes you feel better about doing nothing. See, we live in a world where people want to protect their comfort more than their calling. They want to stay safe instead of being stretched. But the dangerous thing about excuses is they sound good. They feel logical. They give you a little soft pillow to land on when you don't want to face your own lack of discipline. But let me be real with you. Your excuses are not your friends. They're your enemies wearing disguises. Excuses will pat you on the back while they rob you blind. They'll keep you broke. They'll keep you average. They'll keep you on the sidelines watching other people live the life you say you want. And you know what's even crazier? The more you repeat them, the more you stop believing them. They become your truth. And now you're not just lying to the world, you're lying to yourself. That's how people end up wasting years thinking they're stuck, when really they're just making the same sorry excuse every day. You ever met somebody who's always about to do something? But what are you willing to fight through to get it? See, a wish ain't a why. A wish is soft. It floats in your mind like a balloon and pops the second life gets hard. But a why, a real one? A why will wake you up at 4 in the morning. A why will have you running on fumes. A why will have you doing it tired, broke, doubting yourself, but doing it anyway. Because your why becomes your fuel. And here's what separates the doers from the dreamers. The doers got a deep reason, something bigger than them, something that makes them say, quitting ain't an option. Some of you are lazy, not because you're not capable, but because you ain't connected to your fire. You're not locked in with that vision. You've been living surface level. You out here saying, I want it, but your actions scream, it's not that important. Let me tell you something about purpose. It don't chase lazy people. Purpose don't hang out with folks who move only when it's easy. It shows up when you've got something that burns inside you so strong, so deep, that you'll crawl to your goal if you have to. You don't get there on convenience. We'll get there on conviction. Let me ask you something. What's your why? Really, not the one you tell people, not the pretty version you post on social media. The real one, the one that makes your chest tight when you talk about it, the one that brings tears to your eyes when you think about it. That's the one that'll get you up when your body wants to quit. That's the one that'll make you say, I can't stop now. You've got to dig deeper. Some of you all don't even know why you want success. That's why it's so easy to quit. That's why distractions beat you every time. Because when Netflix calls, you answer. When the couch calls, you answer. When comfort calls, you answer. But when your dreams call, you keep putting it on hold. See, when you're wild strong, you don't make excuses. You make progress. You don't wait for perfect. You start now. You don't talk about it. You be about it. A real why will have you doing things scared. A real why will make you dangerous, focused, disciplined, unshakable. You got to sit with yourself and ask the tough questions. What do I really want? Why want it? Who do I want to help? Who do I want to help? What's at stake if I don't get up and go after it? Because if you can't answer those questions, you ain't serious. You're just playing. And life don't reward people who play with their purpose. Let me tell you what my why was. It was not wanting to die broke. It was not wanting to tell my kids a no every Christmas. It was not wanting to live my whole life wondering a what if. That was enough to light me up. That was enough to make me hustle like my life depended on it, because it did. And maybe your why is different. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your legacy. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you can. I don't care what it is, but it better be strong enough to get you moving. It better be real enough to push you through the days you want to quit, because life is going to test you. It's going to throw punches. It's going to throw bills, setbacks, sickness, and stress. And if your why ain't anchored, you're going to fall. But if that why is locked in your soul, you're going to get back up every time. That's when laziness starts to die. That's when excuses start to shut up. That's when momentum takes over and the grind becomes automatic. So stop living like you've got forever. Stop treating your purpose like a side project. Get honest. Get clear. Get locked in on your why. And once you've got it, guard it, protect it, feed it every day. Because that why is the only thing that can silence the lazy voice in your head. That why is the only thing that'll get you where you said you want to go. And until you find it and feed it, you'll keep hitting snooze on your life. So get up, get focused, and get moving. Because that why ain't going to chase you. You've got to chase it. You've got to chase it. Let me make this real plain. No one's coming to drag you out of bed. Nobody's showing up with a trumpet in the morning hollering, hey, time to chase your dreams. Ain't nobody knocking on your door with a contract for your goals. You keep thinking somebody's going to come save you, push you, guide you, hold your hand, beg you to become what you said you wanted to be. Let me wake you up from that fantasy. That's not how it works. You're grown now. And grown folks don't wait around for somebody to come do what they should have done for themselves. You waiting for a sign? You waiting for motivation? You waiting for some mentor to show up and unlock your destiny? Baby, that mentor might never show up. That opportunity might knock twice. And if you're still laying around hoping for a rescue, you're going to look up one day and realize life passed you by while you were waiting for a helping hand. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have support. It's beautiful when somebody believes in you. But what happens when nobody claps? What happens when nobody calls? What happens when the room is quiet and the only person left to believe in you is you? That's the real test. That's when you find out who's serious and who's just playing. You want change? You want success? You want to build something that lasts? Then understand this. You are the one who's got to show up. You, not your mama, not your boss, not your coach. You are the one responsible for getting out of bed when it's cold. You are the one responsible for working late when it's hard. You are the one who's got to write the plan, walk the path, and pay the price. No one's coming to do it for you. Some of you all are too passive about your life. You sit around like it's somebody else's job to fix it. You blaming folks, you pointing fingers. You're saying, oh, well, if they hadn't left me, or if I had more money, or if I grew up different. Let me stop you right there. That's a weak mindset. That's the kind of talk that keeps you stuck. Because as long as you're blaming somebody else, you're giving them your power. You're handing your life to folks who ain't even thinking about you anymore. You want to take your life to the next level? Then take your power back. Own your stuff. Say, yeah, they hurt me, but I'm healing anyway. Yeah, I've been broke, but I'm building anyway. Yeah, it's hard, but I'm showing up anyway. You don't need perfect conditions to move. You just need a decision. You just say, I'm tired of waiting, and I'm done with excuses. This is on me now. I had to learn that the hard way. I was broke, sleeping in my car, nobody calling, nobody helping. And you know what saved me? It wasn't some angel swooping down with a job offer. It wasn't some rich uncle writing me a check. It was me. I looked in that mirror and said, you the problem and you the solution. That's when my life started changing. When I stopped expecting rescue and started getting resourceful. Don't sit there thinking people owe you something. They don't. Life don't hand out favors. You gotta earn them. You want respect? Show up every day like you mean it. You want opportunities? Stop waiting for them. Create them. Build something with your bare hands if you have to. But whatever you do, stop waiting for someone else to push you. Push yourself. The truth is, even if someone helps you, if you ain't ready to help yourself, it won't last. Somebody could open the door for you, but if you ain't got the grind, the focus, the fire to walk through it and stay there, you'll lose it. That's why it's gotta come from you. The hunger, the drive, the commitment, it's gotta be born from your own desire to change. Nobody can give that to you. You got to learn how to lead yourself. Be your own motivator. Be your own alarm clock. Be your own cheerleader. Because this journey, it gets lonely, it gets quiet, and sometimes the only voice telling you to keep going is yours. So strengthen that voice, feed it truth. Tell yourself, I got this, even when you don't feel it yet. Tell yourself, I'm not quitting, even when quitting sounds easier. Tell yourself, oh, let's go, even when your legs feel heavy and your heart feels tired. Because every day you get up and do it anyway, you build strength. You build trust with yourself. You start stacking wins, and before long, you don't need anyone to push you. Because you become the push, you built discipline. You built grit. You built a fire inside that can't be put out by outside noise. So hear me when I say it one more time. No one is coming to save you. That's not bad news. That's powerful news. Because it means it's your hands, your heart, and your hustle that will change everything. You ain't waiting. You're waking up. Now stand up, show up, and level up. It's your move now. Let me tell you something that could change your whole life if you let it sink in. Discipline is the difference between wanting and having. You keep talking about what you want. You say you want the house, the car, the business, the freedom, the legacy. You say you're hungry. You say you're built for more. But then Monday rolls around and you can't even get out the bed. You can't even keep a promise to yourself. Baby, that ain't hunger. That's hype. And hype don't last, discipline does. See, everybody wants success until they see what success requires. It ain't a feeling. It's not mood-based. You don't just wake up one day and the stars align and everything's easy. Nah, success is built brick by brick with habits, with consistency, with discipline. That's the secret sauce, the thing nobody wants to talk about because it ain't sexy, it ain't flashy, it's not It's the work you do when nobody's clapping, when nobody sees, when nobody knows but you. Discipline is you doing the thing even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the alarm clock going off and you getting up, not because you're in the mood, but because you made a commitment. Discipline is you eating right when that junk food is calling your name. It's you working on your craft when your friends are out partying. It's staying focused when distractions are fighting for your attention. And let me tell you, in a world full of lazy habits and short attention spans, discipline is your superpower. You think champions got there by being the most talented? No, talent is nice, but it's not enough. You know how many talented people are broke? You know how many gifted people live average lives? Because talent without discipline is wasted potential. It's smoke, it disappeared. Discipline turns average into extraordinary. Discipline makes people who weren't supposed to win stand on the stage with giants. I'll be honest with you, discipline don't feel good all the time. It's hard, it's boring, It's repetitive, but it works. And you know what feels better than skipping the workout? Being healthy. You know what feels better than hitting snooze? Hitting your goals. You know what feels better than scrolling social media for 2 hours? Looking back and seeing how far you've come because you built something real. That's what discipline gives you, results. Long-term, lasting, meaningful results. Most folks don't have discipline because they never built it. Discipline is a muscle. It don't grow overnight. You've got to train it. You've got to struggle with it. And yeah, some days you'll fall off. Some days you'll mess up. But if you get back up and keep going, that muscle gets stronger. You start keeping promises to yourself. You start trusting yourself. You become reliable, not just to the world, but to your own dreams. And let me tell you this, it ain't about being perfect. You don't need to be perfect to be disciplined. You just need to be consistent. You just need to show up even when it ain't pretty. You just need to keep doing the right thing long enough, hard enough until it becomes who you are. Because discipline isn't something you do. It's something you become. You want to be respected. Get disciplined. You want to build a business. Get disciplined. You want to break generational curses. Get disciplined. Stop depending on motivation. Stop depending on other people to keep you accountable. You don't need a crowd to keep you moving. You need a decision. A decision that says, no matter how I feel, I'm showing up. No matter what's going on, I'm going to keep pushing. And that decision, that discipline, is what separates winners from watchers. It's what makes the difference between that almost made it and I did that. It's what makes you undeniable, because when you're disciplined, even when the world doubts you, even when you doubt yourself, you still move, you still grind, you still get it done. You know how you kill laziness, discipline. You know how you silence excuses, discipline. You know how you win. Not once, but over and over again, discipline. So stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for someone to hold your hand. Get up and build the life you say you want with discipline. Because you won't always be the smartest, the fastest, the most connected. But if you're the most disciplined, you'll always find a way. You'll always rise. You'll always finish. And that, my friend, is how you go from average to unstoppable. Discipline is a bridge between your dream and your destiny. Now the question is, are you gonna walk it? Let me tell you something that could shift everything for you. You already have what it takes. I need you to hear that deep, deep in your spirit. Because too many of you all are sitting on gold while living like you broke. You walking around like you empty when God already gave you everything you need to build, to grow, to win, to rise. But you know what the problem is. You don't believe it yet. You don't believe in your gift. You don't believe in your calling. You don't believe in your own power. So you keep second guessing, keep hesitating, keep sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else run with what's already inside of you. You keep looking outside for answers, like success is hiding in a book you ain't read yet or a podcast you forgot to play. You think it's in some seminar, some mentor, some course. Now don't get me wrong, that stuff helps. I'm all for growth, I'm all for learning. But none of that means anything if you don't activate what's already in your hands. You ain't lacking information, you're lacking belief. And belief is what turns potential into power. Some of you are waiting for somebody to come give you permission to be great. Baby, you don't need no permission. You already been approved, you already been called, you already been equipped. But the enemy will have you thinking you ain't enough. Life will lie to you and say you don't measure up, that you too old, that you too late, that you missed your chance. But let me break that lie right now. You ain't too old, you ain't too late, and you still got time. But you gotta stop waiting and start working. The real problem ain't your circumstances, it's your mindset. You keep talking yourself out of your own future. You keep playing small, watering yourself down, shrinking in rooms you were born to lead in. And why? Because you don't see yourself the way God sees you. You see fear, you see fail, you see flaws. But God sees fire, God sees favor, God sees fight. You got power in you that ain't even touched yet, but you too scared to unlock it. You keep saying, I don't know how. Listen, nobody knew how at the beginning. Nobody started out with the full plan. You think I knew how to get here when I was broke, homeless, riding around with lint in my pocket? I didn't know how. I just knew I had to. And that's the difference. You ain't always got to know how. You just got to start. And when you start, the how will find you. You learn by moving. You grow by doing. But you'll never tap into your strength if you keep sitting still waiting for perfect. You gotta want it so bad that quitting becomes unacceptable. That every time the thought of giving up creeps in, you hit back harder. You remind yourself why you started. You look at your family, your dreams, your legacy, and you say, I know, sir, I'm not stopping here. You gotta want it bad enough to outlast failure. To stand in the middle of disappointment and say, this ain't the end. You will get knocked down. You will lose some battles. But when your desire is bigger than your difficulty, you will always rise again. That's the secret. The fire has to burn harder than the fear. Now let me tell you something else. When you want it bad enough, people will feel it. You don't even have to say it. It'll be in your walk. It'll be in your tone. It'll be in how you carry yourself. You'll start walking like it's already yours. You'll talk like you belong in the room. You prepare like you already see the prize. And you know what that does? It attracts opportunities. It draws in favor. It opens doors. Because people respect the person who's hungry. But here's the thing. You can't fake hunger. You can't fake urgency. Life will test how bad you want it. It'll throw obstacles, distractions, critics, and silence. And when that happens, it's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Can you stay the course? Can you show up after the 10th and no? Can you give your best when you're not being seen or celebrated? You gotta want it so bad that you're willing to grow through the pain, that you're willing to look stupid while you're learning, that you're willing to do the small things with big energy until your moment comes. Because the ones who make it, they weren't born lucky, they were just relentless. You wanna change your life? You wanna break that cycle? You wanna become the version of yourself you dream about? Then want it more than you want comfort, more than you want sleep, more than you want validation. You don't need nobody to agree with your dream. You don't need nobody to clap for you. All you need is that desire in your chest that says, I will not stop until I get what I came for. It don't matter what you've been through. It don't matter who walked out on you. It don't matter how many times you failed. If you're still breathing, if you're still waking up, if you still got a vision, then it's not over. But you've got to want it like your back's against the wall. You've got to want it like the rents do when you ain't got nowhere else to go. You've got to want it like the air in your lungs, like you can't live another day without it. Because when you really want it, laziness dies, excuses vanish, fear shrinks. And every day becomes a step toward what you said you were going to do. That's when you stop watching other people live your dream and you start living it yourself. So if you hear me, if any of this hit your heart, then make a decision right now, not tomorrow, right now, that you're going to move different. To think different, show up different. Want it bad enough that the world has no choice but to see it. Want it bad enough that nothing can stop you. Because when you want it that bad, you don't need motivation. You don't need permission. You just get up and go get it. All right, let me wrap this up for you the same way I started. Real, raw, and straight to the heart. You want to kill laziness? You want to break that cycle of procrastination, excuses, and wasted potential? Then you've got to wake up to the truth. Nobody's going to do it for you. This life, it's yours. These dreams, they're yours. The goals you wrote down, the visions you keep seeing in your sleep, those weren't given to you by accident. But they're never going to come alive if you keep hitting snooze on your greatness. Laziness is a thief. It robs you quiet. It don't break in loud. It creeps in slow. One skip task, one excuse, one day at a time. Before you know it, a year's gone, then 2, then 5, and you're still talking about what you were planning to do. But enough of that. Enough talking. Enough hoping. It's time to move. Time to grind. Who you were created to be, because you've already got the tools. You've got the power, the purpose, the potential. It's been in you the whole time, but you gotta want it bad enough. You've gotta get committed. You've gotta stop depending on motivation and start depending on your discipline. Build habits, build grit. Build a mindset that don't flinch when life gets tough. You ain't too old. You ain't too late. You ain't too broken. The only thing standing between you and your next level is the version of you that keeps making excuses. Kill that version. Bury the laziness. Light up the fire in your chest and go get it. Because once you start showing up different, focused, consistent, everything in your life will start moving too. Doors will open. People will notice. The world will have to make room for you. But it all starts with you. So from this day forward, stop playing small, stop shrinking, stop sitting on your gift. Get up, get loud, get serious. And when life asks, who's ready? You stand up with your chest out and say, I killed my laziness. I'm built for this. Let's go.